Good evening sociology students and welcome to the Education Show. I am your host Mr. Smith. This program has been created to help you in your sociology class. Hello Miss N. Welcome to the Education Show. Thank you for joining us to talk about the sociological theories.
Thank you Steve. It is a pleasure to be here. Let me begin by saying there are three major theories in sociology: symbolic interactionism, functionalism and conflict theory.
Oh, I see. Can you tell the students at home watching a little more about each of these theories?
Let's start with symbolic interactionism. According to Henslin, the central idea is that symbols are the key to understanding how we view the world and communicate with one another.
Interesting. So it sounds like symbols are very important in our everyday lives.
Yes indeed. Without symbols we would not know how to interact with others. Symbols help us identify people and places. Symbols define our relationships. The symbols of boyfriend and brother certainly are very different. And we interact with each person differently.
Very interesting indeed. So it sounds like sociologists use symbolic interactionism to study face-to-face interactions, examining how people make sense out of life.
Yes Steve. That is correct. Symbolic interactionism is a micro-level perspective. The focus is on small-scale, face-to-face interaction.
And so how is symbolic interactionism different from the other two major theories in sociology?
Excellent question. Whereas symbolic interactionism is micro-level, functionalism and conflict theory are macro-level theories. They examine the large-scale patterns of society. Let's talk about functionalism next. According to Henslin, the central idea of functional analysis is that society is a whole unit, made up of interrelated parts that work together.
Yes. I remember reading somewhere about how all of the parts of society must work together to maintain order and stability in society.
Exactly Steve. Comte and Spencer viewed society as a kind of living organism. And like an organism, if society is to function smoothly, its parts must work together in harmony.
Emile Durkheim also viewed society as being composed of many parts, each with its own function.
Yes. I can see you did your homework to prepare for this interview. Durkheim believed that when all of the parts of society fulfill their functions, society is in a normal state.
And when they do not fulfill their functions, society is in an abnormal state. It's dysfunctional.
You've got it, Steve. But remember, this is only an introduction to the three major theories. There is more to it than that. For time purposes, we'll keep it to the basics.
Oh yes. Well then, that leads us to conflict theory.
Yes. The third and final theory, which is also macro-level, is conflict theory. Unlike the functionalists, who view society as a harmonious whole with its parts working together, conflict theorists stress that society is composed of groups that are competing with one another for scarce resources. Karl Marx, who is the founder of conflict theory, analyzed society and history and found that in each society a small group controls the means of production and exploits those who are not in control.
Yes. In industrialized societies, the struggle is between the rich, the small group of capitalists who own the means to produce the wealth, and the mass of workers who are exploited by the wealthy capitalists.
It is important to remember that with each perspective highlighting different features of social life, and each providing a unique interpretation, no single perspective is adequate.
Well, Miss N, I want to thank you for coming on the Education Show to discuss the three major theories in sociology. We hope you will join us again in the future.
Thank you, Steve. It was delightful. I would love to return for a future show.
Well, students, I hope you learned a little about the three major theories in sociology: symbolic interactionism, functional analysis and conflict theory. Please join me again.